Let's begin with a truth that's so simple, yet so profound. The fifth dimension is not a place you go to. It's not somewhere you travel to on a spaceship, and it's not a faraway realm that only a select few can access. The fifth dimension is a state of being, a frequency of consciousness that exists right here, right now. You don't need to wait for it. You don't need to search for it. The fifth dimension is already within you. The question isn't, how do I get there? The question is, am I ready to perceive it? But let's slow down for a moment. What does this actually mean? What is the fifth dimension, and why does it matter? To understand it simply and correctly, we need to start with the building blocks of reality itself. We live in a universe of dimensions, layers of experience that stack on one another like the chapters of a book. The third dimension is where most of humanity operates. It's the realm of physicality, form and separation. It's the world of this is me, and that is you. It's built on linear time, duality, and a sense of cause and effect. Think about how we navigate life in this dimension. We think in terms of past, present, and future. We see ourselves as separate individuals, living in a world of opposites, light and dark, good and bad, success and failure. This is the third dimension, and it's where we spend most of our waking lives. The fourth dimension, however, is like a bridge. It's the realm of the mind, of thoughts, beliefs, and emotions. When you start to become aware of your inner world, how your thoughts shape your reality, how your emotions influence your actions, you're stepping into the fourth dimension. It's here that you begin to see that life isn't just happening to you, it's happening through you. You start to realize that your perception of reality shapes your experience of it. But here's the thing. The fourth dimension is still heavily influenced by polarity. You're still working with concepts like fear and love, lack and abundance, limitation and possibility. The fourth dimension is where we begin to wake up, but we're not fully free yet.
Click subscribe to this channel to get more profound spiritual lesson.
And this brings us to the fifth dimension. The fifth dimension is where duality dissolves. It's a state of unity where you don't just know that everything is connected, you feel it, you live it. In the fifth dimension, there's no separation between you and the universe, between you and others, between you and your desires. It's not that challenges disappear or that life becomes perfect. Instead, your perspective shifts so profoundly that you see the perfection in everything. You're no longer bound by fear, judgment, or limitation. You begin to experience life as a flow, a dance of energy where everything is working in harmony, even when it doesn't seem like it on the surface. But let me ask you something. Have you ever had a moment where time seemed to stop, where you felt completely present, completely at peace? Maybe it was while watching a sunset, holding someone you love, or simply sitting in silence. In that moment, you weren't thinking about the past or worrying about the future. You weren't judging yourself or anyone else. You were just being. That was a glimpse of the fifth dimension. It's not something foreign or unattainable. It's something you've already touched, even if only for a moment. Now, here's where it gets really interesting. The fifth dimension isn't just a place of peace and love. It's also a place of creation. In the third dimension, creation is slow and effortful. You have to work hard, take action, and wait for results. In the fifth dimension, creation is instantaneous. That's because it operates on a different set of rules. In the fifth dimension, your thoughts, emotions, and intentions work together to manifest your reality in real time. This is why people often refer to the fifth dimension as the realm of miracles. It's not that miracles are breaking the laws of reality, it's that they're following the laws of a higher dimension. But here's the catch. You can't access the fifth dimension if you're stuck in the frequency of the third. This isn't about judgment, it's about alignment. The fifth dimension vibrates at a higher frequency, one that's rooted in love, unity, and trust. If your energy is trapped in fear, scarcity, or resistance, you're not in resonance with the fifth dimension. It's like trying to tune into a radio station. You can't hear it if you're on the wrong frequency. So the real question becomes, how do you shift your frequency? How do you align yourself with the fifth dimension? The answer lies in your consciousness. The fifth dimension isn't about changing your external reality, it's about changing the way you perceive it. It's about shifting from seeing yourself as a separate being in a chaotic world to seeing yourself as a co-creator in a harmonious universe. It's about letting go of fear, judgment, and resistance, and stepping into a state of trust, love, and flow. This doesn't mean ignoring the challenges of life or pretending everything is perfect. It means approaching life from a higher perspective, seeing the bigger picture, and knowing that everything is unfolding for your highest good. But let me ask you something deeper. Are you ready to let go of the need to control? To trust that the universe is working for you, even when it feels like it's working against you? This is one of the biggest shifts required to access the fifth dimension. In the third dimension, we're taught to control, to plan, to force outcomes. In the fifth dimension, we learn to surrender, not in the sense of giving up, but in the sense of aligning our will with the flow of the universe. This is where true freedom begins. As we close this part, I want you to reflect on this. The fifth dimension isn't something you achieve. It's something you remember. It's a state of being that's already within you. The more you let go of fear and embrace love, the more you align with it. The more you trust the flow of life, the more it reveals itself to you. So let me ask you one final question for now. What's holding you back from stepping into the fifth dimension? Is it fear? Doubt? Resistance? Whatever it is, it's not bigger than you. You are so much more powerful than you realize. And the fifth dimension is waiting for you to remember that. Now that we've laid the foundation, let's explore how you can align yourself with the frequency of the fifth dimension. Because here's the thing, this isn't just about understanding the concept intellectually. Understanding is the seed, but experience is the bloom. To truly step into the fifth dimension, you have to embody it. You have to live it. And the first step is recognizing that the shift begins within you. The fifth dimension isn't waiting for you out there somewhere, it's waiting for you to create the internal conditions that allow its energy to flow through you. But before we dive into the how, let me ask you something. When was the last time you truly felt in harmony with life? Not just a fleeting moment of happiness, but a deep, unshakable sense that everything is exactly as it should be, even if it doesn't make logical sense. That feeling that alignment is your natural state. It's the baseline frequency of the fifth dimension. And the good news is, it's not something you need to force. It's something you return to by letting go of the things that pull you out of alignment. The first and most crucial shift you need to make is moving out of fear and into trust. Fear is the vibration of the third dimension. It's what keeps us stuck in cycles of scarcity, competition, and control. Fear tells us that life is dangerous, that we have to protect ourselves, that we're separate from others and from the universe. But trust is the vibration of the fifth dimension. Trust says, I am supported. I am safe. Life is working for me, not against me. When you trust, you stop trying to control every outcome. You stop resisting what is. And in doing so, you align yourself with the flow of the universe, which is always moving toward harmony. But how do you cultivate trust, especially in a world that often feels chaotic and unpredictable? Start small. Begin by noticing the ways in which life already supports you. Think about your breath. You don't have to force it, it just happens. Think about the sun rising every morning, the seasons changing, the endless cycles of nature. These are reminders that there's an underlying order to everything, even when it's not immediately visible. Trust isn't about ignoring challenges or pretending everything is perfect. It's about knowing that even in the chaos, there's a higher intelligence at work or flow that you're always a part of. The second shift you need to make is moving out of judgment and into acceptance. Judgment is another hallmark of the third dimension. It's the voice in your mind that says, "This is good and that is bad. This is right and that is wrong." Judgment keeps you locked in duality, in the illusion of separation. But in the fifth dimension, there is no separation. Everything is seen as part of the whole, as a necessary piece of the puzzle. Acceptance doesn't mean you have to agree with everything or condone harmful behavior. It simply means you recognize that everything has a purpose, even if you can't see it yet. Here's a practical way to cultivate acceptance. The next time you find yourself judging a situation, a person, or even yourself, pause and ask, "What is this teaching me? What is this showing me about myself or about life?" This simple question shifts your perspective from resistance to curiosity, from separation to unity. And as you practice this, you'll notice something incredible. The more you accept, the more peace you feel. And the more peace you feel, the closer you are to the vibration of the fifth dimension. The third shift is moving out of resistance and into flow. Resistance is the energy of no. It's the part of you that fights against what is, that clings to how you think things should be. But flow is the energy of yes. It's the part of you that surrenders to the present moment, that trusts the unfolding of life. Flow doesn't mean passivity. It doesn't mean you stop taking action or pursuing your desires. It means you stop forcing and start allowing. It means you move with the current of life instead of against it. I'll think about water. When a river encounters an obstacle, it doesn't stop. It doesn't try to push the obstacle out of the way. It simply flows around it, finding the path of least resistance. This is the energy of the fifth dimension. It's about trusting that the path will reveal itself, even if you can't see it yet. So ask yourself, where in your life are you resisting? Where are you trying to control, force, or fight? And what would happen if you let go and allowed yourself to flow instead? The fourth and final shift is moving out of the mind and into the heart. The third and fourth dimensions are heavily influenced by the mind, by thoughts, beliefs, and logic. But the fifth dimension is the realm of the heart. It's where intuition, compassion, and unconditional love take the lead. This doesn't mean you abandon your mind. It's a powerful tool. But it does mean you stop letting it run the show. The mind sees separation, the heart sees unity. The mind analyzes, the heart feels. The mind plans, the heart knows. To align with the fifth dimension, you must learn to listen to your heart. Its wisdom will guide you in ways the mind cannot. Here's a simple practice to connect with your heart. Place your hand over your chest, close your eyes, and take a few deep breaths. As you breathe, imagine your awareness sinking from your head into your heart. Ask your heart, what do I need to know right now? What is the most loving choice I can make in this moment? Don't overthink the answer, just feel it. The heart speaks in whispers, not shouts. But the more you listen, the louder it becomes. As we close this part, remember this: shifting into the fifth dimension isn't about escaping the third. It's about expanding your awareness to include a higher perspective. It's about choosing trust over fear, acceptance over judgment, flow over resistance, and love over separation. These shifts don't happen overnight. They're a practice, a journey. But every time you align with these energies, you step closer to the fifth dimension. So let me ask you this: are you willing to let go of what no longer serves you, to trust that the universe is conspiring in your favor, and to open yourself to the infinite possibilities of the fifth dimension? Now that we've explored what the fifth dimension is and how to align with its frequency, let's dive into the most important part: how to live it. Because the fifth dimension isn't just an idea or a fleeting experience. It's a way of being. It's about integrating its energy into your everyday life so that it becomes your new normal. But here's the truth. Living in the fifth dimension doesn't mean you're suddenly immune to challenges or that life becomes perfect overnight. It means you bring a new perspective, a new awareness to everything you experience. It's about embodying the wisdom and energy of the fifth dimension in the midst of your human life. Let's start with one of the most practical ways to live in the fifth dimension: conscious presence. In the third dimension, we tend to live either in the past or the future. We replay old memories, regrets, and wounds, or we worry about what's coming next. This keeps us trapped in cycles of fear and limitation. But in the fifth dimension, there is only the present moment. It's here, in the now, that you access the infinite possibilities of creation. Presence is the gateway to the fifth dimension because it takes you out of the mind and into the heart, where unity and flow reside. So how do you cultivate presence? Start by paying attention. Notice the small details of your life, the texture of your breath, the colors of the sky, the sounds around you. When you catch yourself drifting into thoughts of the past or future, gently bring yourself back to the now. Presence isn't about perfection. It's about practice. The more you anchor yourself in the present moment, the more you'll feel the energy of the fifth dimension flowing through you. Another key to living in the fifth dimension is heart-centered awareness. In the third and fourth dimensions, we often operate from the mind, analyzing, judging, and overthinking. But in the fifth dimension, the heart becomes the compass. The heart doesn't see separation or limitation. It sees love, unity, and infinite possibilities. To live in the fifth dimension, you must make decisions from the heart. This means listening to your intuition, trusting your feelings, and choosing love over fear, even when it's not the easiest choice. Here's a question for you. How often do you let your heart guide you? Think about the last big decision you made. Did you choose based on logic and fear, or did you follow the quiet knowing of your heart? The heart speaks softly, but it always knows the way. When you live from your heart, you align with the flow of the universe. You stop fighting against life and start co-creating with it. Living in the fifth dimension also means embracing gratitude. Gratitude is one of the highest vibrations you can embody, and it's a direct bridge to the fifth dimension. When you practice gratitude, you shift your focus from lack to abundance. You begin to see the beauty and perfection in everything, even the challenges. Gratitude rewires your perception, helping you move out of resistance and into flow. It's not about ignoring the difficulties of life, it's about recognizing the gifts they bring. Here's a practice you can try every morning. Before you start your day, take a few moments to reflect on what you're grateful for. It could be something as simple as the breath in your lungs, the warmth of the sun, or the love of a friend. Write these things down or say them out loud. And as you go through your day, make a conscious effort to notice the blessings around you. The more you practice gratitude, the more you'll align with the energy of the fifth dimension. Another essential part of living in the fifth dimension is letting go of attachment. In the third dimension, we often attach ourselves to specific outcomes, believing that our happiness depends on things going a certain way. This attachment creates resistance, fear, and suffering. But in the fifth dimension, you understand that everything is unfolding exactly as it should. You trust the process of life, even when it doesn't look the way you expected. Letting go of attachment doesn't mean you stop caring or stop taking action. It means you release the need to control and allow the universe to work its magic. Ask yourself this: where in your life are you holding on too tightly? What would happen if you let go and trusted that everything is happening for your highest good? Letting go isn't always easy, but it's one of the most powerful ways to align with the fifth dimension. When you release attachment, you make space for miracles. Finally, living in the fifth dimension means serving the greater good. In the third dimension, we often focus on my needs, my goals, my desires. But in the fifth dimension, you realize that there is no me separate from you. We're all connected, and what we do for others, we do for ourselves. Service doesn't have to be grand or dramatic. It can be as simple as offering a kind word, lending a helping hand, or holding space for someone who's struggling. When you live in service, you align with the energy of love and unity that defines the fifth dimension. But let me ask you something: what unique gifts do you have to offer the world? How can you use your talents, your energy, and your presence to uplift others? Living in the fifth dimension isn't just about your own growth, it's about contributing to the collective awakening of humanity. The more you give from a place of love, the more you'll receive in return. As we close this part, remember this: living in the fifth dimension isn't about escaping the third or fourth dimensions. It's about bringing the energy of the fifth into everything you do. It's about meeting life with an open heart, a present mind, and a deep trust in the flow of the universe. It's a practice, a journey, and a way of being. So let me ask you one final question for this part. What can you do today, right now, to embody the energy of the fifth dimension? The answer might be simpler than you think. When you shift into the fifth dimension, it's not just your personal reality that changes. You become a beacon, a catalyst for transformation in the world around you. The energy of the fifth dimension is expansive, unifying, and deeply magnetic. When you embody this energy, you naturally influence others not by force, but by presence. You don't have to preach, convince, or explain. Your alignment speaks louder than words. It's like a flame lighting other flames. Without even trying, you inspire others to awaken to their own higher potential. I think about it. Have you ever been around someone whose presence felt calming, uplifting, or even healing? Perhaps they didn't say anything extraordinary, but just being near them shifted something within you. That's the power of living in the fifth dimension. Your energy ripples outward, touching the hearts of everyone you meet. People feel your peace, your clarity, and your unconditional love, and it reminds them of something within themselves, something they may have forgotten. You become a living example of what's possible, simply by embodying the energy of unity and trust. Now, let's talk about challenges. In the third dimension, challenges are often perceived as problems that need to be fixed, obstacles that block our path. They create stress, fear, and resistance. But in the fifth dimension, challenges are seen through a completely different lens. They are no longer problems but opportunities, gifts meant to expand your awareness and deepen your connection to life. When you face a challenge from the five-dimensional perspective, you stop asking, "Why is this happening to me?" and start asking, "What is this teaching me?" This is one of the most profound shifts you can experience. Instead of reacting to life's difficulties with fear, frustration, or resistance, you approach them with curiosity, trust, and acceptance. You understand that every challenge holds a hidden gift, a lesson that's perfectly designed for your growth. And as you integrate this way of being, you begin to radiate an energy of resilience and peace. Others will notice. They'll wonder how you remain steady in the storm, how you find clarity in chaos, and this will inspire them to seek that same steadiness within themselves. But the impact of living in the fifth dimension goes beyond just facing challenges. It influences how you interact with others. In the third dimension, we often operate from a place of separation, me versus you. We judge, compete, and protect ourselves. In the fifth dimension, you move from separation to unity. You recognize that every person you meet is a reflection of yourself, another facet of the same universal consciousness. This changes everything. Instead of judging or reacting, you begin to see others with compassion, even those who challenge you. You respond with love, not because it's the right thing to do, but because it's the natural expression of who you are in the fifth dimension. Now, Here's the most beautiful part. Your transformation has a ripple effect. Energy is contagious, and the more you embody the frequency of the fifth dimension, the more you elevate the energy of those around you. You don't have to try to change anyone. Just by being in alignment, you create an environment where others feel safe to open their hearts, to explore their own potential, and to remember their connection to the greater whole. This is how we collectively raise the vibration of the planet, one person at a time, one interaction at a time. Your energy matters more than you realize. But let me ask you, are you ready to fully embrace this role? To become a source of light, not just for yourself, but for everyone you encounter. To live as a walking example of the fifth dimension, inspiring others to awaken simply by being who you truly are. This isn't about perfection, it's about authenticity. The world doesn't need you to be flawless. It needs you to be real, to live in alignment with your heart, and to trust the flow of life. When you live in the fifth dimension, you're not just transforming your own life, you're creating ripples that extend far beyond what you can see. You're contributing to a collective awakening, a shift in consciousness that has the power to transform humanity. It starts with you, but it doesn't end there. The fifth dimension isn't just about you, it's about all of us. So, as you step forward into this higher state of being, remember, together we rise. Together, we create a new world. The impact of your energy is infinite. You are infinite. Let the truth guide you.